Hi
Okay.
everyone. Looks like
Hello,
everybody's starting to join. Welcome to the webinar today. So if you don't know us, I'm Victoria and this is Elliot,
Elliot. Hello, how you doing?
and we're part of the marketing team at Nest. So today we're going to be talking all about summer and making sure that your marketing is ready and up to scratch and all good to go for the summer months. So basically what we're going to be covering today is strategy, tools, everything you need to get started with summer and get your marketing and make sure you've got some good campaigns going that hopefully can boost your student numbers and keep you going. So we'll have a bit of a general chat about strategy and tactics. And then Elliot's going to take us through a bit of a demo on ChatGPT, so how you can create really good prompts and things to kind of make your marketing a little bit easier, because we know we're always short on time. We always need a bit of a helping hand with that sort of stuff. So he's going to give us a bit of a demo on good things to use on that and how to kind of get it out and get it using in a real world situation.
And then also we're going to look at Canva as well. So can you let us know if you use Canva as well? Basically, I think we want to make sure that we've got some great assets that we provide, and then we want to show you how you can change those to make them to your custom branding, and also if you want them, they're ready to use as well. And then I'll show you a little bit of how to use like our custom template as well that we'll provide to you.
Yeah, so I know like a lot of when you get templates and marketing materials and things, they're just fixed. And obviously we hear quite a lot from you guys that, oh, it's great that, and it's great to have a Facebook post, but I do karate and that's a picture of judo, or they're in blue suits and I'm training white suits and things like that. So now we've swapped all the campaign materials into Canva templates and things. So that means that you guys can take them, just take inspiration from them and either use them as is or completely switch up. So changing all the images, changing all the
And
colours.
we've really focused in on that customizability. So like it is there for you to turn it into your own thing. So like it's not always like a copy and paste. It is something that you can use it as is if you want to, but make it your own.
And it's actually really easy to edit. So
Yeah.
Elliot's going to show you that. So yeah, I suppose the main kind of point of this today is a bit of busting that summer slump myth. So a lot of what we hear is that it's a really quiet time. I know people drop off. I'm used to seeing people go on holiday. I don't get anybody go like coming in. I'm getting no students. It's just I know it's a time I'm going to lose. I've just got to wait it out until we get to the back to school, and I know it'll pick up again in September. We've actually got data from, we've looked across our clients. So we've obviously got schools that sit across the country. Those that are consistent with their marketing and make a real effort over summer, that slump doesn't exist. It doesn't show. It's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you decide that summer's going to be slow and tell yourself summer's going to be slow, it will be, because you're not putting that effort in. You're not kind of pushing your marketing, making sure you're kind of doing all of that stuff. And it's not like we particularly have to do anything special. I mean, the main thing that I suppose maybe differs from summer to just standardly, but this also counts for every school holiday, is things like running holiday clubs and things. And we'll talk about a bit about that in a minute, but that's the main thing you can do that's an extra revenue boost. But actually, in terms of getting trials in, getting people into the club, getting new people signed up, you can effectively treat it like most of the rest of the time of year.
I think I say it's that consistency, isn't it? And keeping going through.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, if you say, oh, well, the kids are on holiday, so they're not going to turn up, but they probably bored, so they might want to turn up, and they're having those classes still there consistently, meaning that they're used to that routine, they can continue with that routine throughout the summer.
Yeah, exactly. Forgot to say as well, if anybody's got any questions or any comments while we're going through, just pop them. I'm pointing over here because it's on that screen. Just pop them in the chat or in the question box, and we'll go through them as we go. And we'll also do a bit of time for Q&A at the end anyway. But if it's something while we're talking, just pop it in there. But yeah, I think having a bit of a mindset shift can be really powerful. So framing summer in your head as actually a growth season rather than somewhere where you're just going to let it drop off. Periods like Christmas and things, we do see a distinct drop off because people do have very different plans. But actually, summer is a little bit different to that because, like Elliot said, yes, they're still on holiday and there's things like that, but that results in these opportunities where parents can be struggling for childcare, struggling for something to keep kids occupied, especially by the time we get into like week 4 and 5 of the summer holidays and the kids have done everything they could possibly imagine to do and they're getting really bored. So being consistent with that marketing, keeping your Facebook ads going, keeping your organic posts going, like it's a really, really good time to optimize and take advantage of that. So, as I say, if you have that mindset shift, you're going ahead of people that aren't doing that. And we're not just talking martial arts, we're talking any kind of kids activity. If everything's slowing down and you're the one that stays consistent or even pushes more, you're going to get more for your money with paid advertising because there's less people putting ads out at that time of year. And you're more likely to be seen in people's news feeds. And I think that's something that people don't necessarily think about, is the impact of what everybody else in the world is doing, not just the industry. So if you can go against that trend, you've got more chance.
And like the communication side of things as well is making sure that the parents know, we are still having classes. Don't stop bringing them.
Yeah.
It's still, and you can do that with like automations, for example, can't you? You can say like send an automated message or an email. So like having that, like again, it's just that consistency, saying we're still open. Come on, keep bringing kids in. We're still going to continue, and these summer camps, as you say.
Yeah. So I suppose that's kind of the general sort of strategy, is the idea of continue basically. So it's not anything rocket science. It's just keep going, keep pushing with what you're doing, and actually take advantage of the fact that you might be one of the only ones to do that. What we'll kind of talk about now is the idea of like 3 things that you can focus on and really kind of drive your efforts in, and the different kind of facets of that. So first we'll talk about a bit about engagement, and then acquisition, so getting new students during this time, and then also retention, so ways to keep your current students, because we do know that there are people that drop, but there's ways that we can kind of help with that. So I suppose firstly with the engagement thing, it's keeping those students that you've got already excited and engaged, and that they're wanting to come and they're still wanting to get involved, and that actually your club is seen as part of their summer. So even if you've got people going on holiday, you can do things like photo challenges. So asking people to post a photo on social media of them doing a move somewhere new. You'll get all sorts. You'll get ones from just people doing it down the local park to, like, I saw a client get one last year. It was somebody from a pyramid in Egypt.
Well,
like, it's crazy. So you can get all that sort of stuff, and those can help both with the engagement of your current students that are there, because that's giving them something fun, something to do, to focus their energy on and to kind of get involved with over the summer. But also that gives you a lot of kind of fodder to use for social media for your own thing. And you can even like send out emails to your kind of prospective students with the information on there and showing what the club's getting up to and things like that.
I can see the headline now: Martial Arts Club goes international.
Just all over everywhere. So yeah, so that's a good thing to do. Just really kind of low touch, easy. You can do it as a competition and offer like a prize, or you can just do it for the heck of it, really. Also things like setting up for like grading preps and things like that. So this kind of goes into the retention bit a little bit, but is also relevant from an engagement perspective. Is if you get a grading booked in for after the holidays, then you kind of keep people in that structure, because they know that, say they know they're going to grade in September, then if it was a grading at any other time of year, they wouldn't drop off their lessons in the month 6 weeks beforehand. So you keep them coming, so they're looking for that grading prep, they're looking for all of that sort of stuff that they want to do, and that's all there as well. Also another thing you can do is like giving them a reward for coming over summer, which seems a little bit kind of just giving them a reward for coming, but especially when it comes to kids, that sort of constant reward mechanism can work really, really well. So things like I've seen people do different themed weeks. So it'll be like superheroes one week, or like bring your teddy bear another week, and they get a sticker for every time they do that. Then if they get to the end of summer, they get a patch to put on their gi or something like that. And it's just really, again, small stuff, low cost. It's not like you're having to run humongous things and buy loads of equipment for classes and things, but it's just that stuff that makes summer an exciting time.
It's that recognition, isn't it, as well? Like, and as you know, with gradings, you always have that recognition, and they love that. When you get that first belt, like the passion you feel, like you're so excited when you got it. So having that pop up on a regular basis with these kind of things just isn't really
cool. Definitely. It's that thing in a child's mind. Like, we normally have 3 months between gradings, but actually when you're 7 years old, 3 months feels like a really, really long time. We know as adults it goes like in the blink of an eye, but as a child, and we all remember how long the summer holidays felt as kids. So it's that thing of breaking that up and being like, oh, well, next week we're going to have this, the week after we're going to have this, we're going to, like, giving a bit of a schedule at the beginning of the holidays can be really good to just keep everybody engaged. then you're kind of creating that fear of missing out thing. Like if somebody's going on holiday for a week and they know they're going to miss a certain week, then if the kid's excited to go to that week and they're sad that they're not going to make it, if the next week's just as exciting, they're really geared up to go. I know we hear a lot of things around, they have people that are international students and they will want to stop because they will go back to a home country for that 6 weeks, and that is really common, and then wanting to talk about like cancelling and things like that, but it's about finding other options for them. So like, can you do like video training for them so that you're still sending them videos, sending them emails? You can set that all up and automate it, so something that's happening every week, but that then hopefully stops them from cancelling their membership because they're away for a number of weeks. You can give them things that can sort of mitigate that. So yeah, so moving on to acquisition, there's plenty that you can do over summer. I mean, keeping your current tactics up. So, I mean, a good one, just pop in the chat if you're still doing marketing at the moment and you're planning to continue it into summer, or were you planning on turning it off? Like let us know what your plans were. Is that something you were continuing to do, or were you kind of going to go through that? Oh, I know it's going to drop. I'll turn my ads off. I'll save a bit of money, because as I say, that continuing can really work. So yeah, that's great, Tim. You're saying all through summer, and I know we've had conversations before about how much consistency is paying off for you. And that's definitely, Tim is a great example of how that's worked.
Someone has finished a campaign and wants to start a new PPC campaign now, so that's good.
That's great.
And it worked for you last year, Tim. So yeah,
great. That's what I want to hear. Yeah.
Author of the summer
in publications and social media. Yeah, great. Exactly. That's the thing. If you can carry it on, you will be the ones that take that step above the people that are sort of slacking off, because it is really common. But yeah, good things that you can continue to do, like especially through summer, where you've got days they're not in school. So things like taster sessions and things you can put on during the day. Things like getting classes outside. So I mean, we're having great weather at the minute. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it continues into the school holidays and we don't have a washout like we have done in previous years. But things like just moving your class into an outside venue, so going into the local park, even just like if you've got a nice area outside your location, just doing it round the kind of the club, it energizes the current students, which is really, really great, but also helps with the fact that your school is then visible. So if it's a park on a nice sunny day and you're doing your lesson at 3 o'clock, there's no end of people that are going to be around that. Have a little sign popped up that's got a QR code where they can sign up. Make sure you're hanging around afterwards so people can see you, and yeah, just interact and just be there and be open and be friendly. Like, it's surprising how much can come for that.
And we've had Jim in the comments has just said about how normally continue with training, but considering merging them together. As you said, like, well, my classes that I've had in the past, like we've had like a children's class and an adults class, and there's been like 1 or 2 children in the class, so we've bumped them up into our class so then they can join us just for that session, because as you say, facility hire and having that, so it kind of just saves on a little bit of cash that way from your side. But then also it's quite an experience if you're a younger child going into the adult class to experience it, and then seeing how the other belts do and stuff like that.
It's actually quite motivating from both directions as well. Like, the kids are getting to see what the adults are doing, and then the adults probably will end up naturally helping out.
You want to make sure you're doing it correct for the children. that's my problem. Make sure my technique's good.
Make sure your technique's good, so you're not like teaching the younger generation.
Exactly.
I like that. That's quite funny. But yeah, so things like that. Referral programs work really, really well in the summer, because it's really easy to offer some like fun kind of prizes and things. Like, I've seen people do it with everything from like a water bottle or a frisbee or a baseball cap or something, up to the person that brings the most new students in over the summer gets a trip to the local water park or something like that. So you can kind of vary that depending on what you've got in terms of resources and what you can manage. But referrals work really, really well over the summer, because what you'll find is a lot that parents will share childcare. So if there's like a group of mums, they'll kind of take it in turns to look after everybody's kids. So if one of those goes to your school, but you give a reason for, rather than that being, oh, they're not going to come to class this week because I've got the other 3 with me, actually being like, oh, they can come and enjoy that lesson still. You keep your current student motivated and training because they're coming, but you also add in for those other 3, and hopefully that means that they may sign up and come because they enjoy it. They go
potential signups.
exactly. So it's all just sort of little things. I know we've spoken quite a lot on these webinars around like the idea of something snowballing and just starting with lots of little bits, and that kind of accumulates up and adds to it, and that really does kind of work. We'll talk a little bit about summer camps as well, because they're kind of, we can't do a summer webinar without chatting about summer camps.
Well, just quickly, Tim has said that water pistols always do well in summer.
Oh, that's a great shout, Tim. I'm not going to advocate for anybody having a water fight. That's definitely not the thing. I'm not going to be responsible for that, but
yeah, left arm up.
But yeah, so summer camps is by far and away the best way to acquire new students over summer, because they kind of work twofold in that you're helping anybody within your current school. So I've seen a lot of people that will run a summer camp, but they will only run it and have it open to people that are in the school at the minute. Actually open that up and take it to anybody. I would always recommend kind of doing partly martial arts and partly something else. So whether that's you do martial arts and then you do it wholly yourself, and it's just lots of other games or like crafts or like loads and loads of different activities and that sort of thing. Or what I've seen that can work really, really well is partnering up with another local activity. So maybe you've got somebody around the corner that's dance or football or something like that, and you can kind of come together, run a club together, which hopefully kind of lessens the cost a bit because you've both got resources that you can pull on, but also then kind of doubles your potential audience and means that you're kind of merging that together and hopefully giving the kids something that if they haven't tried martial arts yet, sometimes the idea of I'm going to go to a full day or a full week even of martial arts is a lot. So blending that with other options.
It's as we say with like social media as well, it's all just providing value to the community, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you're, as you say, working with another company that's also in the community in the same similar kind of area, providing that value for them to then work with you to then provide something different that the kids might not have experienced before is great. So it's helping the community as a whole, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And it's just being there and being seen. So making sure that when you are doing all this fun stuff and you're doing bits over, get it up on your social media, post it into local groups, like see if you can find, if you've got a local newspaper, like even one of just the free ones that get popped through people's doors, like getting things publicised in there, even if it's just things you've done, it just shows that you're there, you're active, you're making an effort, you're kind of helping out there, which can be really good. I suppose finally, retention is kind of really key point in that we don't want to be losing our students, that old kind of leaky bucket thing. It's all right trying to bring loads in from the top, but we don't want them to be flowing out of the bottom. And summer is a challenging time for that. Like we've already kind of touched on it a little bit, but yeah, things like having an autumn grading booked in is really, really good. But also just doing nice things for your students. So it's like summer parties, like hosting that. Obviously, it depends on what kind of resources you've got, but I know we've kind of got clients that have done a whole kind of fun days and got local businesses involved and have like food trucks come and bring everybody in and things like that. And you can just make a really kind of enjoyable vibe and being part of people's summer rather than it being
separate.
Like, yeah, and rather than it being the thing, oh well, we do that while we're at school, so it's not something for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of continues it, and you'll find that if you can keep them coming through the summer holidays, that also means you won't struggle as much through like the half terms and the Easters and the other holidays and things like that. It can make a really big difference to keep them engaged during this time. Things like film nights and stuff work really, really well as well, especially as like you can run these things both ways. You can either do them as they're integrated within your school and they can just come for free and do whatever, like come and it's just an extra night, or you can run them as a bit of a revenue generator. So things like film nights and things like parents don't get a lot of a break during the holidays. So then the idea of like, could you run a film night, which is effectively a nice babysitting service for people? They can drop the kids, they can go out for a nice meal, don't pick the kids up until 10 o'clock. They have a bit of a kind of film night, mini sleepover, some snacks, things like that. But you can charge for that because that's there. So you can help to boost that revenue through the summer as well, rather than just seeing it as a time where it's going to drop. I think, yeah, it's definitely a mindset shift. It's like it's seeing summer as an opportunity rather than seeing it as a time to be worried about and kind of assuming you're going to get that dip, because we definitely see a change from clients as to what they do. I mean, I was looking at the data the other day, and versus clients that start to put students on, especially early in the summer. If you're doing it now, you're starting summer marketing now, you're getting people pulled in, that then means that they're going to hopefully be present throughout the summer. That's keeping your classes full, more people come in, and you get that kind of rolling effect that there's more and more, versus if we see students that start to dip now, that dip follows through in the summer. And then it's about that idea of, if you've got 50 students now and you can even just add 5 over the summer months, then when you go into September, which we all know is a good busy time and there's a lot of a potential there, you're starting from 55 and you're going, or even maintaining at 50, that's just pure growth in September. Whereas if you see summer and let it dip and you go from 50 and you drop down to 40, then you're suddenly on a 10 deficit. So the first 10 that you get in September aren't a boost to your numbers. They're actually getting back to your level. So that idea of being able to kind of even just keeping the level or a bit of growth, hopefully we can see a lot of growth, but even if it's just that maintenance, that then means that as you come out of summer, which it is tricky, there's no kind of, we're not going to lie and sit here and go, oh, it's perfectly fine. It can be hard, but you're then on a level to then boost from that point. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful in terms of a little bit of strategy. Has anybody got any questions or anything? If you want to pop anything in the chat, or if not, we shall jump into ChatGPT.
So I think no questions at the moment. Everyone's typing away. I can see it now. But as I say, with like those, like the gradings and stuff, if you have a grading in the autumn or something, then like preparing for it, and as a student, you're just thinking, okay, well, I've got this time that I can still go to class and I can then perfect. For the grading. I think
it's also routine as well. Like if you keep it within people's routine, like I think we have this idea that like, oh, it's summer, just everything goes out the window. It's just completely different. Whereas actually, chances are a lot of parents are still working, so that part of the routine is still set.
Yeah, and work doesn't stop, does it?
No, they'll have to do some sort of arrangement for childcare during that, and whether that's you providing something through a summer camp or whether they're just doing whatever they're doing. That still means that those evenings are still there, or those times when they would normally go to a lesson. Like if they can normally bring a child to a lesson after a school time, that time is still available to them during the thing. So it's just keeping that in the mindset that it's not a complete shift.
Mm. So should we move on to some ChatGPT stuff?
Let's move on to some practical stuff.
I'm a big fan of ChatGPT. I think it's great to use to save time and also just optimize everything that you do as a business owner. And one thing is why we want to talk about, why is ChatGPT your marketing sidekick? So basically, we wanted to let you know who uses ChatGPT. Let us know if you do use ChatGPT and what you found it most useful at and least useful at. So, for example, there's some really clear tells that you know that it's like content has been written by ChatGPT. Does anybody know what those tells are?
Yeah, has anybody noticed anything? So the more content that comes out of ChatGPT, and I hate to say, probably once we've told you this, you're now going to spot
all the time. You get
everything.
That's AI.
That's AI.
So we've got a couple of people saying that they use it and they use it for posts and ads, and a lot of it is very similar. That's correct.
It can be very similar. Yeah, Martin, they unleash it loves an over-exaggerated adjective.
We've got unleash, elevate.
Yeah, American spelling.
American spelling, yeah. So I think that's one really good thing to first tip is you always ChatGPT things. Yeah, fine, that's not a problem. But make sure you're always ChatGPTing it as well. So make sure you are proofreading everything that you send out. It's not a copy paste send.
Yeah.
It is a copy paste edit. Look, check for Americanisms, check for spelling, remove those elevates. And the main thing that we've seen recently, I don't know how to say it. Is it EM dash or M dash? It's basically a double dash. And you'll notice it all the time now. You see it.
Extra long, and it has no space. So it'll go word, no space, dash, word. And it loves it.
It's just constant. And it's funny because I was telling you, laughing at the other day, I was typing a message and I said, please remove all M dashes. And then it said, of course, M dash. I will remove all of the M dashes.
Yeah.
And it was just quite ironic. But
yeah, so as Tim said, ask for English, not American English. Making the odd spelling mistake. It loves emojis. You'll see so many posts where it's just emoji after emoji. Capitalization of sentence. it will just sentence case everything, even though it's a standard sentence.
I think people are used to seeing emojis in social media because it is eye-catching and it does draw the eye and it's a bit of a thumb stopper, but sometimes the overuse can be a bit annoying. So I think it's just think about it logically and just, you know, making it more human and just knowing that it's not direct copy and paste.
A really good kind of test for it is, would you say it in the pub? Like read it out loud. I know it's cringy, it's horrible, but sit in a quiet room on your own where nobody can hear you. Read it through and you'll suddenly find the bits in it that are like, that doesn't sound human. That isn't how somebody would speak. So then it's taken you away from this, I've got a blank sheet of paper. I know I've got to write something. I don't know what it is, whether that's a blog or a social media post or content for an email. It takes you away from that. I don't know what to do. But actually then if you tweak it, it only takes a couple of minutes to read through it and tweak it, and suddenly it'll sound like you, and it'll sound human, and it'll sound like your tone, and it'll make sense. Because the thing to remember as well is, especially if it's stuff that you're sending out to your current students, they know who you are, they know how you speak. So if you then suddenly start doing something that's all in American English and things, then it's clear it's not you.
I think a lot of things with ChatGPT as well is you need to provide it with as much information as possible. So if you just say, well, we're going to do a test in a minute, actually, and we'll do it live in a second. But you need to say, like, if you, for example, teach ChatGPT and train ChatGPT who you are as a business, what you do, and your tone of voice, who you're talking to, things like that, it will then make your content much better than just a write me this, and then it will just come out with some rubbish. So it's training it, letting it know who you are before you then do things. And you can have some in the free version as well. In each chat, you can provide that information. But in the paid version, I don't know if anybody does pay for it, but you can actually set a project. And then with a new project, you can actually put in instructions. So you can provide it with like a PDF document with your brand guidelines or things like that.
Yeah. And then give it your website and say, this is the business that we are talking about with the website and your Facebook
learn
page.
This website is really good. So then it'll know who you are. And then every chat within that project will then reference the documents and things that you've provided it with in the project. So that's really useful.
But what you can do that with the free thing as well, in that if you have a sort of short, how I kind of advise people to do it is have a short bit of a blurb that says, this is the website, this is this. We are a martial arts school that teaches this. We're based here. Our primary target audience is X, Y, and Z. This is what we're trying to do. You can just do that within a few sentences and you'll suddenly find that your responses and what it kicks out is significantly better than if you just go, write me a social post to promote my new class. Because it knows you and it knows what you're talking about and it will reference things, and suddenly it will start to pull benefits off your website, and that copy just gets better and better.
Yeah. So as we said what to do, we can do exactly what not to do and show with our ChatGPT from blank and see what it comes up with, because it does still come up with some good results. So should we share our screen and have a look? So let me just go to our screen for a second. Hopefully everyone can see.
Just give us a quick yes or thumbs up or whatever if you can see us okay, because we're working with two screens and having some fun technology.
We're now in this corner. Yeah, you can see our screen, so you can see ChatGPT. How can I help with? What can I help with? How can I help with? Yep.
Fantastic.
Okay, we're good. So first off, we've got a couple of little prompts here that we're going to use, and it's really simple. And I'm just going to copy and paste it in. So write a Facebook post to promote a summer martial arts camp for kids aged 6 to 12. So that's kind of what we're saying, is providing it with information. We want it to do, it's a martial arts camp, it's for children, and it's for the ages of 6 to 12. So it's quite specific of what we want.
It's just giving it some specifics to work with, so it's going to.
So we'll see what it comes up with. Let's go. So straight off, I like that kick, punch, and play this summer. So it's quite good. But this is exactly what we're saying with a lot of these emojis. And then have we got any EM dashes? Or is that an EM dash?
Yeah.
Like an extra long there. See, it says spaces fill up fast. Book now to secure your spot.
That one's actually a relevant one. That works quite well.
That's quite well.
Sometimes it likes to use the dash instead of a comma.
Yeah.
I've noticed. If it needs a comma.
I say you can just do that. You can change it into a comma. So that's perfect. So for example, looking for an action-packed way to keep your kids active and off screens this summer, our summer martial arts camp is the perfect mix fun, fitness, and focus. I actually really like that because it's kind of straight away, it's looking at the key benefits, it's thinking about fun, mixing things off, and it's the off the screen as well. So that will draw people's attention to that. So I do like that. And then again, it's come up straight with the ages, the dates, location, time. No experience needed, just energy and enthusiasm. So it's really nice. So
one thing to be aware of as well is it will put things in square brackets for you to insert. Please don't see what I've seen, do what I've seen no end of people do, which is literally copy that out, and then it's like they're advertising something, and it's like classes at such and such a time, and it literally says insert location,
I've
insert
seen
time.
that
And
as
you're like,
well.
"That's not
You
it."
scroll on Facebook and you see dates, insert dates, and then it's like, what? So somebody has literally just copied and pasted this thing because it is so easy just to press this copy and then paste it in. So with this, what we can do is we could say to it, provide, let's just say, five more variations. So then press that straight away, and it'll provide straight away 5 more variations of that same ad. So once it's doing this, it's now done straight away all of these other variations. Your child and summer skills and smiles. It loves a bit of alliteration. Love that.
Yeah, it does. That's another ChatGPT tell. Lots of alliteration and also lots of hashtags, which can sometimes get a little bit random.
Some of the hashtags, yeah, when you think about hashtags, I will try and say, limit to 5 to 8 hashtags. You don't need 50 different hashtags, but sometimes they are really like they're not popular hashtags. So they'll come up with a hashtag. So for example, summer kickoff. Nobody is searching for summer kickoff. So it's not relevant, it's not needed. So I would then go for the martial arts for kids. Perfect. Active summer, great. But it's also knowing which is better or not. I like the kick boredom to the curb this summer. That's quite good. School's out, camp's on. That's good. So what we can then do is say we like schools out, camps on. So turn schools out, camps on into a email to provide prospects with this information. And then that is going to turn that social media copy into email copy that you can then use straight away. So let's see what that comes up with.
Yeah, so that's another good thing with ChatGPT is you can keep on the same thread. We'll call it a thread, in conversation, I suppose, with
Same chat.
Same chat. And you can keep tweaking and changing it. So you suddenly build yourself up a suite of things. So you can even start to do it so we just asked for one social post initially, but you could say, oh, can you give me a content plan, including the posts for my social media over the summer? And just say, I want to post twice a week. Tell me what you would need from me for this. And it will say, for this one, you'd need a photo. For this one, you need a 30-second video. And all of a sudden, rather than you having to sit down and plan out for the whole of the 6 weeks what you're going to post each day, you've got that there. And you might not like some of them, so you can take them out and you can do something else, but it gives you that initial.
And as here, so back to the turn the social post, it's now turned into an email. And then you've got this again, make sure you do change things. So you can have obviously your function within your email provider, things like that. And then it tells you all the information, and that's the email that can go out, social media links if applicable. But as Victoria said, you can then turn those Facebook posts into that. So now we've got the Facebook post, we've got the email. We can then create into a plan. So what other content can I create that could go into a content plan for summer for my martial arts school?
It sometimes seems like that, like just making sure you say things like for my martial arts school. Like it feels like a bit extra.
It's just reiterating the fact and retraining it every time.
And you will also find that the more you use it, like I don't know if anybody on the call has found this, but the more you use it, the more it will realize. So I know I've done stuff, and obviously we do bits for Nest, and actually I'll forget to say for martial arts, but because you've used it so much for martial arts, it will just use that as a default.
One of its new features is part of this memory feature. So the memory feature in ChatGPT is getting quite more advanced as we go. And it's always remembering these little things. So let's see what it comes up with for the content plan. So it's listing ideas that you can create for the content plan. So straight away, lead generation and promotion. And it's coming up with all these different ideas. So there's a countdown post, there's free trial class promos, bring a friend day, summer offer campaign, testimonials from past summer camp parents. It's quite good, isn't
So
it?
it's basically just on most of the webinar that we've just talked about.
Yeah. So, but please keep coming back to our webinars. But yeah, it's always providing all this great information that you can use. Engagement and community building. That's exactly what we were saying earlier about community building. Photo, video to highlight from the camp, summer student spotlights, polls and prizes. And then it's been so much already. Education, value-based content, providing that value all the time. Parents tips 5 ways martial arts can help with summer restlessness. I can't read. That's my dyslexia. Healthy habit series, all these different things, seasonal and timely content. Then it's come up with email content. And then straight away, would you like me to turn this into a simple week by week content calendar?
Let's say
now,
yes and see what it does.
love this because it did exactly what I wanted it to do, which is ask me that question. And what it will do, we're just going to do a simple yes, and like magic, here is our content plan done in a calendar, week by week theme, the day, the weekend, and it's gone week 1, week 2, and so forth and so forth. So this is yours, 6 weeks worth of content that it tells you exactly what to do, and all you need to do is just do it. Now that is easier said than done. I do understand that, but it just gives you that motivation, that idea to suddenly go, okay, well, Technique Tuesday, summer edition, we can do that. We can do a quick 30-second video. I can show you how to do a round kick or whatever it is, and that's it, done. Post that. ChatGPT, I've got this video of me doing a round kick, learning, teaching technique. What's the copy that can go with this? And then it'll provide it for you.
It's that thing, I think, hopefully we're showing you a little bit about how you can expand out from those standard prompts, because what a lot of you will see is just prompts that will come out and it's just give me 5 social media posts to promote my school. And it's like, that's great, but actually you can use it for a lot more of that. You can do this. So say with that plan there, you could say, oh, I'm not running 2 summer camps, I'm only running 1 summer camp, remove the second one, give me an alternative. Like things like give me a variation, give me an alternative, change this into an email, change this into a social post, really helps you to save a lot of time by taking something that you already have and moving it into something else and using that content somewhere else. So like we were talking about with the social stuff during the summer, if you're going to be collecting videos from students from their holidays, or videos of you and images of you going in the park and doing your classes and things like that, you can say to ChatGPT and say, I've got these photos, this is what I've done. Can you give me 4 social posts to spread throughout the summer and a blog and a bit of information to send to a local newspaper? And it's all done for you and it's there. And I say, you can tweak it, you can change it, you can add stuff to it, but it makes difference.
Again, it's also come up with optional weekly email topics. So it's done the email campaign for you as well. Now, what I love to do with ChatGPT is like to say, adjust to, right? So tell it to, it's come up with that output. And I would say, adjust to add more detail, if I could spell, detail within, can't spell that, within each week. So then it should then provide an EM dash, perfect, EM dash, here's detailed 6-week content calendar. So now it's gone in more detail and broken down each one into a more substantial piece of content. So here it's the day 1, Monday, content idea, summer's here, let's get moving. Static image or reel, so it's provided the idea of what the piece of content is going to be, and the details and the call to action. So promote free trials with sunny, energetic post. The call to action, book a free trial today, perfect for kids ages 6 to 12. Yeah. So remove those EM dashes, add a comma instead. But yeah, it's really good. Then that's done week 1, and then it's gone on to week 2. And again, it's just provided that all for us.
So all we started with was
Facebook post
for martial arts camp for kids aged 6 to 12. And within, I don't know how long we've been going, but less than 10 minutes, we've suddenly got an entire content plan for the whole of summer.
6 weeks.
For 6 weeks of summer. So is that helpful? pop a kind of message in the chat. Is there anything else that you have thought about wanting to use ChatGPT for and you've not been sure how to do it, or anything that you've tried to do before and it's not worked very well? Basically, is there anything, before we move on to looking at the Canva stuff, is there anything we can kind of help in terms of prompt writing or anything like that? We'll just see what is popping up. I don't know if that was a, I've got a yes. I don't know if that was a yes from
I think
just
that was
now.
from before, but that's all
from
right.
you? That's fine. Perfect. Looks like we're all ChatGPT experts. That's great.
But I think we've got
Oh,
some
yeah.
other potential prompt ideas again. So, for example, that's just the first one we did, but we could easily say in the same, we're just going to use the same chat as reference now, but I've just copied and pasted this. So create 5 subject lines to promote an early bird rate for an autumn grading. So send that, and then straight away, it's just these simple things. It's come up with them straight away, and you can then adjust to include having a deal on this day, or add my school name in, it is this.
Yeah,
Again, it's providing that information.
a really good one to do is if you've written an email, like subject lines can be really hard to come up with, and you just end up being like, oh, change to class or something like that. And it's not particularly engaging. People's inboxes are just full these days, like you're getting 10, 15 emails an hour sometimes. So you could take that email copy that you've got, paste it in and say, give me 5 subject lines that are going to make people want to open an email with this copy. And then it will give you some things. It might come out with some wacky ideas, but you can then try some of those, see what works, if that helps a little bit. And it's suddenly, it looks a bit exciting. You've got more chance of somebody opening it in the inbox.
This is actually one of the things that I definitely wanted to show you all as well. So basically, we want you to create as much content as possible on your websites and blogs and things like that, because the more content you provide is the higher ranking you'll get in SEO and gets found. So you can provide more people with martial arts. And then that is just the core of why we exist.
Yeah, so Google is really kind of doubling down at the moment on how much content is on your website, how good it views your website as being, from the perspective of, are you providing value to the person that's searching? So that can cause us a little bit of a problem, where we have websites where previously we created them purely for the thing of, oh, I want to get people booked in, I want to get people into my school. So the website's quite simple. I want to very quickly drive them to a landing page that lets them book. But actually, you can find that that could start to cause you problems with Google, in that you're not ranking as highly. So when people are putting the search in, you're not first and second anymore. You're dropping down the page and people aren't coming. So blog content and adding that into your website can really help, because it's a way where you don't disrupt that easy journey to people to book, but you're showing that you're an expert and an authority,
and you're showing that to Google to then rank you higher.
Yeah, but then obviously the idea of, oh my goodness, I've got to go out and create blogs and be posting a blog every couple of weeks, month, can feel quite daunting, particularly if you're not
a writer.
Yeah, you're not a writer. Like, it's what we're kind of doing like every day, but it's not what you guys are often doing. So ChatGPT is a great place to start.
One thing I would say is, you can bulk create these, but as we said previously, you ChatGPT it, fine, but make sure you un-ChatGPT it, add your own flair, add your own kind of information into it. So I've got this other prompt that I've written here, is outline a blog for the benefits of starting martial arts in the summer holidays. So we can then use this, and my mind's just gone completely blank. We want to say about using it for martial arts for summer holidays, and you can say, include keywords that are relevant for this blog to go on my website, for example. And what it will do, it will add in and search keywords that are relevant and then link it into this blog.
Yeah.
So what it will do is it will outline, basically, so it's not writing the whole blog, it's going to outline what the blog is going to be. So straight away, it's come up with why summer is the perfect time to start martial arts for kids. Great little blog title. It's going to target keywords. These are the keywords it's going to look for. It's going to search for like martial arts summer, holiday classes, kids martial arts classes near me, summer holiday activities for kids. It's going to look at that. So now it's then done a blog outline. So instead of just saying, write me a blog on this, it's providing them more information, going in depth and working bit by bit. We've actually hit our limit for this bit at the moment, but that's not a problem because we're going to move on in a minute anyway. But this has created the introduction, it's created a positive outlet for energy, and it's gone through bit by bit of what the outline of the blog should be, up to, wow, is that nine to 10 partial parts, 10 parts? And then he says here straight away, would you like me to write this full blog using this outline? And then I think we've reached our limit because we're just using the free one to test. But yes, there we go.
There we go.
Absolutely. And now it has written that blog. Now, again, as I say, we'll keep reiterating it as well. Make sure you are reading through it all, and then you're making sure there's no Americanisms in there, and you're adjusting it for it. So you can use these parts and these little paragraphs, add an image in, and make it look quite nice on your website as well to fit your brand. How to get started this summer, final thoughts, why try a free trial class today. And there we go. It's after.
So even give you some FAQs at the bottom.
FAQs,
so by following it in that structure, rather than just going, write me a blog about, you actually make ChatGPT think more, because you're saying, I need this to go on my website. I want it to rank for keywords. So it's got a thing to focus on when it's doing its writing. And then also you're asking for the outline first. So it gives itself it. If you just say write the blog, you will find it becomes a lot more top level
and very generic.
Whereas by saying the outline, because that then makes it think about the stages that it's got to have within that blog, and it then fleshes that outline out, and you will find you get a much better blog out.
During this outline, you could think like easier transitions for beginners. That's rubbish. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite good, but you can then actually change that and change something that suits you, that you can have a section on why our school is the best, and then you can add that in yourself, and then it will then flesh it out and then do it. So I like the outline, so you can see at a quick glance of what it's going to look like before you write the full piece of content.
And sometimes that outline will be huge and it'll be really, really long. So you can actually say, oh, can you do a specific blog on this section? So you can say on section 7, can you write a blog on that? And you can split it out.
And here we go. Look, if you want, I can help tailor this with your school's name, location, specific summer offers. Would you like me to do that? So again, it's prompting you to give it more information, so then it can create it and make it better as best as it can. So yeah, any questions on ChatGPT before we move on a little bit to go on to some Canva stuff? Don't think we've had any questions so far, so that's good. It's a lot of information, isn't it?
No, I think that's I'm kind of conscious of time as well. So let's jump into Canva. So these templates are, so if you're with Nest and a Nest member, you will be familiar with the campaigns that we put out multiple times a year. So we will cover the main kind of points of the year. So January, summer, back to school, Christmas, all those we will do campaigns for them. And what we do is we have Canva templates as part of those for you to use, to utilize, and we will have those in all of the different size formats. So you can have A5 leaflets and A3 posters for offline, so they're set up correctly so that you can send them to printers, so no need to worry about like sizings and ratios and things like that. That's all set up for you. And then we've got the various different sizes for social media that you can use for there. So whether it's for an organic post or for a Facebook ad, we've got the different sizings that you can use.
I think especially with Facebook adverts, they need the size variations. So they need to be like Facebook specific, or to be like the 1-to-1 scale for Instagram, or for like landscape. So that is but for an organic post, you can use this one that we've got, which is the 4:5 aspect ratio, which is Instagram's new aspect ratio. But luckily you can use this size on all different platforms, and it's just makes the picture a little bit longer. So it's basically having your content on screen for as much time as possible could be a potential thumb stopper. So
it's basically, the idea is it's very much mobile focused, which is obviously where we want to be. Like 80% of traffic to websites and things like that comes from mobile these days. So having it on that screen, it's effectively, it renders nicely on the screen and takes up more of it, so that actually it's not like it says, it's not a quick scroll past it. It holds that screen a little bit longer.
It's that microsecond extra makes a difference. So what we're going to do here is we've had these templates created as you know, for you, that you can have, and we can actually provide a template link to this one here as well. So this is our holiday champions and summer template that we've made this year. This is basically a pre-made template where you can add in your own images. We've already got multiple pages with different color variations. But here you can also create your own. So here's an image that's already included, which you can use as is. And all you need to do is change like the time and date. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you basically using this template, how to turn it into colors that you want, however that may be. So first off, let's click on the element. So this is Canva itself. A lot of people have said that they've used Canva in the past, but let me know if you are brand new to Canva, and I can show you a few things that you might want to know. So first off, if you click on any element within Canva, it will come up with this bar here. And here you can go to position. This is very useful because if you click position, it will come up with this tab on the left-hand side, and you can click layers. So it says arrange, position, arrange, layers. Now here, layers, you now have every element that's included on this design right here. So that means you can scroll through and see the background. We like this blue here, but we want to change it into a different color blue or a different color completely. So we've got the blue background, and then at the top here, next to animate where it says position, we've got the color of this element. And then we can change it to, for example, let's make a Nest version. So this is our Nest brand colors. We've got our brand kit for Nest, and then we're going to change it to the orange Nest. And then now that background is now our Nest color. Now we can go back to the position and then layers and find other elements because now it's completely different and doesn't look still how we want it as a cohesive look. So this next part is layered in the bottom or back to the front. So the one at the very bottom is the very back of the page. We change that, and let's add in like our dark blue, and let's change this like graffiti-esque filter into the blue color, and then go back to the position layer. Again, we do this with all of our elements. Say we want to have this instead of blue, we can have it as our pink. So you see on the right hand side, let's turn it to pink. And same with the other side, we can turn that to pink. So now we're still keeping this consistency with making it look the same, but just changing the colors. So that's really easy. So for now, we'll keep it like this. And we've got these frames that are built into this design. And this frame is really good because you can just literally drag and drop a picture that you have. Now, we always say that happy smiley kids is the best thing that you can have to advertise your school. But if you have a real photo from your school, is better than stock images. However,
100%, like within the Facebook algorithms and things like that, they can tell if it's stock imagery versus imagery that you've taken yourself. Video also performs better than imagery, so Elliot's going to show you both how to use an image and how to use a video. But the stuff that you can get from your school is by far the stuff that performs the best. But don't be afraid of, oh, I need to go out and buy an amazing camera and I need to set it all up and I need to stage a load of photos. People aren't expecting like crazy edited. We're not Channel 4 ITV trying to do everything. So you can just take stuff on your phone, quick snaps, kids running around in warm-ups and things like that, as Elliot says, happy smiling faces.
Happy smiling faces, and having those real interactions are always going to be better than the stock footage. However, if you do need to find a stock footage or stock picture, we have got this website here, and it's called Unsplash. This is for free assets, so maybe write down Unsplash, so you can then take note of that as well. So here we can type in judo, and then it will come up with all these pictures that are relevant to judo. Now, also, we can search here. We can go into the license section and search for free. And this is now going to provide us with all images that are free to use. And you can use these to advertise, to promote your school, and organically if you like. So we love a good judo photo. These are really cool, aren't they? So say we like this person here. So what we can do is click on this image, and then we can download for free. So we've now downloaded this image, and then we've got it in our folder here. And then what we'll do is we'll go back to Canva. And then in Canva is really good. What you can do is you can go into your upload section, and you can, or actually you can just click the image and drag it and drop it into your Canva. And it's going to add that image to your design. There's a nice picture of me, look. So you can have this picture here. And then with this image, you can grab it and literally drag it over the end of this frame, the top of this frame, and it'll be added into frame. Now that's not how we want the picture to look. So if you double click onto that picture, you can then now adjust that image to how you want it. And these nice guidelines appear, and they're very easy to use. And now we click off that double click, and now we've got our image within the frame in our design. So nice and simple. With that is good for an image. You can also use video. Now, as Victoria said, video footage is video content is really useful to have. So I've uploaded, here's one I made earlier, is a video footage here. We can add this video, and again, drag it and drop it into here. And now we've got our video piece of content that we can then just use and export it as a reel or as a video, and then that's good to go as well. So should we show an example of downloading it?
Yeah.
Yep. So now say this isn't the best, as you can see, because we've not completely made all the colors the best, but we can then export this video by going into the share section here in the top right corner, click that, then go down to download. As you click download, it'll come up with this list here. Now, because we've got a video for this one, we're going to export it as a video. If you had it just as an image, you can do it as a JPG or PNG. It doesn't really matter which one. Just sometimes Facebook actually does prefer JPGs. So just keep that in mind when you're uploading things. But we want it as an MP3, MP4 video at the moment. And then...
So, just a quick question.
Oh, yes.
We've got, can video be added to standard Canva templates, or is that something designed by Nest? So wherever you've got those frames, then you can add video to it.
Yep.
Or if you don't want to use a frame, then you can start with the video and then just layer on top.
So you could do exactly that. You can go so before we export it. So I've just created a new page here. We've got this video. This is the video that I've created. He says. I'm going to drag and drop it here. I can then add that here and add whatever elements I want to on top of that.
Yeah.
So for example, I can go to elements here and search for different elements. I could say I want fade. Fade's a good one. I like that. And then it comes up with these graphics that are like this blue fade, for example. Now here it does say Pro. If you have got the free version, you won't be able to use this element. So if you go to the see all, you'll see which ones have pro elements and which ones are free elements.
You can also filter in the top as
and
well.
You can filter here as well.
To just show free ones. But I would highly recommend if you're, I think it's about £10 or £12 a month for Canva, and they also will give you like a few months free trial and things like that. So it's one that's really worth having just to really help you to try and sort of elevate that.
Honestly, I think having Canva Pro is a good recommendation. We should be sponsored.
We should.
So for example,
getting a kickback.
We'll get this fade in, and this is just an element that we can drag and drop and adjust where we need to. So like this, for example. I mean,
yeah. So Jim's also said, I think they do an education package for anyone. Yeah, so they do different discounts and things like that. They do all sorts. So there's a lot of kind of options there. It's really good value for actually what you get out of it. I think a lot of people think of like image editing and creating things, and they immediately go to Adobe and Photoshop and think it's hard to use. That's hundreds and hundreds of pounds each year for licenses, and you have to renew it all the time and things like that. Whereas actually Canva is a really nice entry into that, and we use it all the time here at Nest. It's really nice and easy and simple. It's
just life-saving. It's just so easy and
quick.
Quick.
It's graphic design for like the normal person.
Yeah,
basically.
And so when you're exporting your video or your piece of content, you press the share. As I say, you go to download, and then you got your MP4. You can choose which page you want to pick and want to select. So for example, we're currently on page 1. So we only want to download page 1. We don't want to have all the other ones because I've not completed that one. And then all you do is press done and then download. So I don't need to do that now, but you can just press download and it will download that as a video, as your piece of content. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to Control Z all of what we've done, because we are going to use this template and provide this template for you so you can actually use it yourself.
I was going to say, I feel like we should very quickly post our freebies into the chat because we're hitting 1 o'clock. So I know some people have to drop off and go for their thing. The template link is in the what document that we've got on this week.
1 second. So just find this 1 second. There we go. So here, this is a link that we're going to send to you guys in the chat now. And this link is a template link, which is this template here. and then you can use that, and then it will make a copy for you, and you can then add this for your summer camps, for your holiday camps, and also for any promotions that you want to. You can change the text, as I say, book a trial, you can edit all of this kind of stuff. You can change the fonts if you want to change the fonts. But yeah, it's completely for you to customize to your will, should we say.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much us. Oh, we have one other freebie, don't we? We have a
yes.
ChatGPT prompt sheet.
So let me just stop sharing the screen for now.
There we go.
This here is a mini guide for ChatGPT. And you can download that, and that basically has a list of different prompts that you can use for ChatGPT to make the most out of it. And that'll be available to you to download yourself if you click on that link. And it's got different things like promotional posts, it's got testimonial posts and engagement posts, and things providing value and event reminders. So definitely check that out, and some couple of tips in there as well that'll be useful for you as well. So any questions? For now, we've gone over time. Actually, that's flown by.
It has. It's gone really quickly. But yeah, so if anybody's got any questions, then yeah, pop them in the chat. Or I say, I appreciate if people have to dash off because it's the end of a lunchtime session. That's perfectly fine. It's been nice to see everybody. But yeah, if you need any help, then we're here all the time. So if you're an NS client, either kind of pick up the phone, give us a message in the Facebook community group, drop us an email, whichever way is easiest for you. Or if you're not a Nest member as of yet, then we're still kind of happy to give you a hand and help. So probably the best email address is if you use inquiries@nestmanagement.co.uk. That will drop in there, and our team can pass that on to me and Elliot, and we're happy to give you a hand and help you out. So just give us a shout if you do need us.
Yep. So that's it from us, really, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's it. It doesn't look like we've got any questions coming in at all, so that's good. So yeah, we'll sign off and say bye. Oh, lots of thank yous coming in. Yes,
thank you.
You're very welcome. It's been a good one. And yeah, let us know if we can help at all, or if there's anything else you'd like to see on a future webinar.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.